And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. If you guys are new to us here on the Amazon Live platform, welcome. Glad you all could be with us. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button if you have not done so already. You'll notice it either here in this corner or down below us. Also, you would notice the book of our next guest. We're excited to welcome best-selling author Pele Hunkin to our program today to talk to us not only about the year that's been 2022 for her, but also her best-selling book. You guys see it there, Heart of a Warrior. She also is holding up hers there. Also, she's a contributor to other books too. We're going to talk to her about the experience she's been able to have, what's been like for her to build her tribe of supporters, but also the importance of family and faith, something she writes about in her book. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it for you guys on the Amazon side. You'll notice it's available there in print, as well as, of course, in Kindle edition as well. Felicia Brookins, hello to you. Good to be able to see you on the Facebook side. Felicia says she's cheering from you from Jackson, Mississippi. Pele, welcome back to the broadcast. Glad to have you.
Yes. Hi, Cyrus. What is up? Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and everything else, right?
Everything else, right? Well, look, you definitely have had an everything else year, Pele, because you've had, first of all, I just want to say how proud I am of you and all you've been able to do. Yes, you released your best-selling book, Heart of a Warrior. You've been a contributing author to other books. But just in the accolades you've gotten this year, and what I love so much about it, Pele, even outside of all of that, you have joy. So I want to talk to you about that. What has it been like for you to reflect on the happiness and joy you have right now?
Ooh, wow. Well, first of all, I always want to give God all the honor, praise, and glory, Cyrus, because I always believe that if it weren't for his love, mercy, and grace, I wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't be here. And for him, I'm thankful to him for connecting us. And I thank you for having me on your show and for your support as well. And so, wow, I don't know where to start, but I can honestly say it really is because, like I said, the joy, I call this kind of joy of everything that I have been through, the unspeakable joy. It's that kind of joy that some people can't understand, because when you know where you were and you know where you are now, that's why I say it's the unspeakable joy of the Lord, that I'm loving. And so I was asked, why do I smile when I've been through all this? And why wouldn't I? Right? Because God has brought me through a lot in life. And so, to be a co-author of 8 other books, and to be able to meet different people, to have that, like you said, to build that tribe, to build that group of supporters. And not only that, everyone that has been who's in my life, that God has blessed me with, we became family. I call them family. They're my sister, brother, father, mother. I love them all. And that's why I just love what I do, and I do it because I love it. And so the joy, there is that song, The Joy of the Lord.
Yeah.
And so yes, I'm grateful, and to be the best-selling author, this is my first solo project. And I'm working on my cookbook, The Joy of Cooking with Love. And so that's coming up next year. I'm very transparent and authentic with my journey. So I have been a terrible procrastinator with my cookbook, but then I've learned to not allow my excuses paralyze what God has for me. So I had to put my foot down and work on this cookbook and let it out, share my recipe, share what we do. It's not only for me. It's a book of me and my children, how we cook, how we, eat dinner, that's what that book is about.
Yeah, that gives us something to look forward to for 2023 for sure, Pele. I want to go back to something you said, though, because one of the highlights I know personally that you had this year was meeting someone that you call Papa, and that is Les Brown. So I want to talk about that experience for you because, again, you've had so many different highlights, so many different accolades, but talk to us about that moment. What was that like for you to be able to smile, take that picture, to embrace him? Walk us through that experience.
Yeah. So when I get emotional because my heart is still, to think back on that moment, I feel grateful. And, just to have that moment and embracing, yes, I embrace that moment, knowing that I get to hold this man's hand. I get to look him in his eyes. And, I told him, I said, I call him Papa Brown. I said, Papa Les Brown. I said, I just want to tell you that this is my dream come true. And I encourage anyone out there to believe in yourself, because I believe in you, and know that dreams do come true. And so that was my dream, to meet Les Brown, and just to tell him just how I visioned it, Cyrus. That's exactly what took place. God see my heart, and it's like he brought my vision to fruition, and I was able to do just that. And it was to me, it was a very magical moment, in my life, to be able to thank someone that has transformed my life through his teaching, through the classes that I was going through his speaking, everything. And I am just so grateful, to now he's Dr. Les Brown. I'm so grateful for this man who transformed my life. And I'm grateful to John Tallarico, who made that happen, for me, because not everyone got to meet him in person, but I was blessed, and I was grateful to have that opportunity, that magical moment, to thank Les Brown for transforming my life. And so, yes, that was, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying that all over, that my heart is still, overflowing with joy, overflowing with just gratitude, to know that dreams come true. So to anyone out there, believe in yourself, believe in you, believe in you, because I believe in you. So yes, that was that experience.
Yeah. So talk to us then about belief for a second, then, Pele, because in your book Heart of a Warrior, and again for those who are just coming in, you all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents here primarily on Amazon Live, but we also are streaming on Facebook and YouTube as well. We've already tagged Pele there on Facebook, including her page Pele Inspires, where you guys can be able to follow her there on Facebook. But as I'm hearing you talk about that, I'm thinking about your book Heart of a Warrior. You do chronicle going through some very challenging times. Where does that gratitude come from, though, Pele? Because there are a lot of people that's hard for them to find it with all the troubles they've been through, all the challenges they've had, the loss, like you've had loss in your own life. How are you able to keep that attitude of gratitude even in the face of all of that?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Sarah. That's a great question. And like you said, the attitude of gratitude, that's the chapter 3 of my book. And initially, in all that I was going through, I did not know how to be grateful, because I was upset, but when I've lost so much in my life, as my journey is a journey of losses. But when I started to believe in myself that, I don't have to stay angry, that I don't have to stay sad, that I don't have to, that what I had to do was to embrace all the challenges. I had to learn that, I had to embrace all the challenges of life, the trials and tribulations. And then when I learned to embrace that, Cyrus, that's when I learned to be grateful. And then as I started to learn to be grateful, to know how to be grateful. And how was I doing that? I have a gratitude journal, to where I was, having a gratitude moment. And so I always have a gratitude moment, and was writing down my gratitude, and so when I started to learn that, and then I said, you know what? I said, and the Bible says, be grateful in all circumstances. And so that's when I learned, and I shared that in my book, that when I lost the father of my children, when I lost Dean and I lost my parent, I didn't know, I wasn't being grateful at the time. I was upset with God. I turned from God. I stopped praying. I stopped everything. But like I said, once I learned, it's you have to really learn how to be grateful. You can't just say, hey, I'm grateful, and not, when you experience that. And I encourage everyone to do that. When you believe that gratitude can transform your life, that's when you'll be able to recognize the importance of gratefulness, in life, period. So that's how, I got to be grateful, was learning, going through and just believing that, hey, you don't have to stay this way,
Yeah.
when you are grateful. Because I say to myself, if I didn't have all these challenges, how will I learn to overcome anything, right? So I am grateful. I can say that I am grateful for all the challenges that I've been through in life, because it molded me to who I am today. And that's why I chose attitude of gratitude, in my book, because attitude transformed my life.
Love that. I want to acknowledge some of the comments coming in. Pele, Felicia says his book sounds so inspiring. On the Amazon Live side, Amazon customer, I'm not sure of your name. If you will put your name in for us there. Uh, Amazon customer says hello to you, Pele, but also says gratitude is everything, mirroring what you were saying. Liz Black Live is also joining us over on the Amazon Live side. And Liz Black Live says it's a choice. Oh, Amazon customer is Dr. John Gray. So thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Gray. So, and I wanted to ask you that question, Pele, because that gratitude that you have is something that we see even with the successes today. So I want to ask you this. Does that does that help you then as you're in this now chapter of your life where so many of your harvests are reaping and you're able to benefit from it? Does that gratitude, does it help you to better appreciate the gift that you've been given right now?
Yes, yes, indeed. And before I talk about the gratitude, so this is part of my gratitude, right? I just want to acknowledge Dr. John Gray, like I shared earlier. He blessed me with this assignment, of fearless women. And so, Dr. John, I just want to tell you, thank you for believing in me to take on this assignment. But yes, this gratefulness, the gratitude, and everything, it has helped me so much with my life, my personal life, with my social life, knowing that, all the challenge, like I said, all the challenges and everything that I have been through, I'm grateful for it, and it just humbled me, it humbled me more, and it helped me to help other people understand the importance of being grateful, just like, be grateful to the people in your life, be grateful to those who pour into you, and so that's what I would say about, that gratefulness, that gratitude, then that is really and truly, helping me with my journey in life right now.
Yeah. Pele, do you feel like at your heart you're a teacher? And let me tell you why I ask you that question. Because as you're chronicling in your book, Heart of a Warrior, and you're sharing your own story, it seems like you're using the different things you've learned to be able to teach, to impart knowledge and encouragement and wisdom to others. Is that a part of this journey for you too? Do you see that kind of as part of your journey today, being a teacher that way?
You know what? I did say that to my children last 2 weeks ago. I did
Hmm.
say, I told them, I said, I said, I stopped calling myself a coach. I did. I said, and I did tell my social media manager to take that off of my. I said, because I said, coaching is not in the Bible. I said, teacher, Jesus was a teacher. I said,
Mhm.
and that's and that's how I feel. Not that I'm Jesus, but I feel that I am a teacher because I can teach, and I love teaching, about gratitude. I love teaching about life. I love teaching about love, to have love and just to do everything and say everything with love and with all of your heart. And you are so right. Yes, I do feel like a teacher.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it comes through. It comes through, Pele, and I think that's one of the things people get because, for one thing, you're reaching people where they are by sharing your own truth, but then you're
Yes.
helping them and dealing with their own truth. I want to recognize Angie Gray is joining us on Facebook, and Angie says the attitude of gratitude makes all the difference in the world. That is so true,
Yes.
Angie. I want to actually read something from the book, uh, Pele, and then we can talk about it because I love this because one of the things that you talk about too is the importance of appreciating those in your life. For those who have the print edition like I do, and I'm going to make sure that one's highlighted on the Amazon side. There, you guys can get it for $12.99. I'm going to read Pele from page 52 here. And you say this, and I love this because it goes to what you were saying earlier about gratitude. You say in this particular chapter, be thankful for the opportunity to be a blessing to others. You will be amazed at God's blessings when you bless others with your presence in their lives. Blessing others with the story of how God brought me through the most challenging times in my life has been a true joy to my heart. I tell my story to share God's glory because it is always about Him and never about me. And I can honestly say, in the time I've known Pele, she is always going to be able, she does what I do, and that is to deflect. You give her a compliment, she's going to turn it around some way and find a way to be able to. I do the same thing, so I can recognize that, Pele. But I want the reason why I wanted to read that is because you wrote that right after you talked about your parents. Talk to us about that because family can be different sometimes.
Oh, yes. Yes, I believe that.
But talk to us about the lessons you learned from your family, but also how you've been able to share that with your extended family that you have that you've been able to meet.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so at this moment, since we're talking about my parents, my journey, my faith, my life, I owe it all to my parents. It wouldn't, I'm not Pele if it weren't for my parents. So, I miss my parents so much. And so, yes, I was always brought up with love and, being grateful, that especially my mom and my grandma. And that's why I can always say that, I'm a strong woman because I was raised by two strong women, my grandma and my mom. And so when it comes to love with my family, growing up, we always, my mom would always tell us, to always love with all of your heart, to always love no matter what, to always love, like we didn't even know not to love. Like we love everyone. Like that's what I love everyone. Like I love you. Some people can't say I love you. And I met, a couple of my friends, who never believed in I love you to now they get to say I love you. And I shared with them, the story of how I was raised and how my parents, especially my mother, would always encourage us to always love, so there's no boundaries when it comes to love in my family. And I am so grateful, to my mom and my dad and my grandparents for instilling that love in us. And so now, that's all I do. If anyone knows me, they know I love. Pele loves. That's why I always say I'm a vessel of love and positivity, because that's how we were raised in our family. Respect, is big in my family, and love. And so that's why I love the way I do. It's because that's how I was raised. And so to love the people, my extended family now, it's what I love to do. And like you read earlier, to be grateful for the people, in your life. And I encourage everyone to do that, be grateful for the people, in your life. And so I used to say, you know what, I'm going to love the people who love me more than the people I love.
Wow.
Because the people I love more that I know, they don't really care like they say they do. And so that's when I said to myself, and I told my brother that. And so my brother said, man, sis, that's deep. I said to love those who love me more than the people that I love. And that's true to this day.
Yeah, such a great thing. Dr. John Grace says that you are a true vessel of love, Pele. And Angie says, I'm so grateful for Pele Hunkin because she gives so much of herself. She's been a blessing to me. And I know a lot of people feel that same Pele when it comes to you. So Pele, I want to ask you then, you've been able to do so much this year. Do you find yourself at this point, do you set goals? Like, are you looking at 2023 with goals in mind? I know you mentioned the cookbook, but do you set goals for yourself or kind of how do you balance the appreciation you have with looking forward?
Yes, I do set goals as we are going to launch our the Champion Mindset. We are launching that in February, and then coming on with the Fearless Women, Igniting the Fire Within to Fly. And then I am blessed to be a co-author sharing my letter. And I encourage you too, to join us. Today is the last day. I want everyone to write a letter, write a grateful letter to yourself. Let me tell you something. It's only $50, and the book will be launched on New Year's Day. And please, Dr. John, Dr. Angie, can you guys type it down, the name? Because it's Legacy of Love Letters. Others are writing letters, to for their loved ones. But then I said to myself, I am writing a gratitude letter to myself, because I could have been, given up. But then I didn't give up on myself. Why? Because my why in life, who are my children, my why is so strong and so big that I did not give up on life. And I thank God and I thank me, for not giving up on life. So yes, I do set those goals. And I'm like you, Cyrus. I didn't bring my book, but I have my 2022 planner. So I'm not as detailed as you though. But like I said, when I grow up, I'm gonna be like you one day, to be that detailed. But I do write that, down. And so I'm so grateful to have my sister, Dr. Angie, she has poured a lot into me too, as far as, with where I am, in my journey. And there's so many others, to include yourself, people who are helping me and just being there, to guide me through. I'm just grateful to each and everyone. I can't name everyone, but if you know who you are, if you have helped me in some way, in form, I just want to say thank you. So yes, Pele said goals.
And Dr. Gray did write it in there. Letters of Love and Legacy. He did write it there. So I want to ask you the last thing, Pele, here is your advice, because here we are coming, hard to believe, just days away from a new year. For many people, they already are shifting their mind, becoming the person they want to be. What advice would you give to other people about how they can develop the heart of a warrior?
Yes, I just want everyone to take some time out for yourself and write it down and make it plain. Write down what you want and finish strong every day. That's why I don't get it when people say finish the year strong. I'd never believed in that. I always say finish every day strong, because, tomorrow is never promised. And so I just, encourage anyone out there to take action. Take action and be intentional with what you are doing in life. Be intentional with your potential in life. And just know, I encourage everyone to, hey, write your story. Your story is a gift to the world. Someone out there, and that's why I wrote in my book, because I want this book is not about me. It's because of everything that I've been through, and I use the steps, the tools, and everything. It's because I want someone to heal. I want someone, to say, hey, I'm changing my life because this book made a difference in my life. So I encourage everyone to know that your story is a blueprint for somebody's life, that somebody out there is waiting for your story to be healed. So, that's what I want to share, with the world and with everyone, to take action. Now is your time, to use all those tools, use all those gifts and talents that God has blessed you with, to be a blessing to other people. And I love to be a blessing to other people.
Exactly. Again, everyone, Pele Hunkin has been our guest. We've been discussing her book, Heart of a Warrior. You guys can see it right here. You can get the print edition for $12.99, or you can get the Kindle edition for $7.99. I'm going to highlight it for you guys there. Definitely make sure you guys do check that out. And she mentioned she's a co-author of other books as well, so make sure you guys do check that out too here on Amazon. Pele, another great conversation with you. And Angie says, thank you for your transparency. And Dr. Grace says, our stories are powerful and need to be told. Such a great point. And I think that's the thing. And you've set the standard there, Pele. I mean, you're not just telling people to do it. You've done it. And you've seen the reward that has come from doing that. How can our audience stay connected with you, Pele?
Look me up on peleinspire.com. That's my website. Connect with me on Facebook, Pele Inspire, and Pele Hunkin, and Instagram, Pele Inspire. And if you want a signed copy, DM me, and I will, give you all the details of a signed copy. And I want you to know a signed copy is so much better than a Amazon copy.
Now, I don't think you should say that on Amazon.
Oh,
Pele.
Wait, but I love it. No, what I mean.
Pele, some things I can't agree with you on here.
Okay. Well, no. Let me say that. So, what I mean is to have a signed copy, because when I do sign my copies, I write a personal note. I don't, everybody's different, but I write a personal note, a personal quote. So having a personal note and a personal, signed copy, not, I'm going to take that back, what I said about Amazon.
On that note, we thank you all for being with us on today's broadcast. Make sure you guys get your copy of the book on Amazon. As well as the Kindle edition as well. Pele, glad you could be with us. And we thank all of you for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right, thank you. Love you guys. Love you all.